The main reason is it's cheaper cost of living. That was my first bullet point, actually. Now, when I say a cheaper cost of living, I eat out quite often, okay? And I eat Thai food, I eat Western food, but it is considerably more expensive here in Bangkok than it is in Hua Hin, and probably on a par with Pattaya. I'll give you a couple of examples. A typical pizza here will cost me anywhere between 300 and 350 baht in a restaurant. Sometimes it's plus as well. I can get a pizza in the market village for a margarita for about 120 baht. I can go to the night markets, various night markets, and pick up cheap food. A typical Thai dish in a restaurant here, you're probably paying around Sukhumvit. I'm not talking about out of town. You're probably talking anywhere between kind of 70, 80 up to 90 baht, whereas in Hua Hin you'll pay 45, 50 baht. In fact, something that made me laugh last time I was down there 2 weeks ago, some of the Thai restaurants, they're selling French fries, chips for the English. You know, they've got them priced up at kind of 140, 160 baht for a portion, whereas in Hua Hin they're 45 baht. So you see there is a considerable price difference. And as I'm getting on now, I want to try and save more money for later years. So that was one major decision, just the amount of money that I'm going to save. The second reason I've decided to go down to Hua Hin is just the cleaner air, less pollution. Obviously, being in the middle of a city, there is a lot of pollution here. When you live on the coast, it's a lot cleaner. The air quality is a lot better, and that's getting important. That's important for me now. I've noticed in the last few months, you know, I get runny noses, I sneeze constantly, I get a rough throat, and that never used to happen. It is the pollution, definitely. So I'm looking forward to breathing cleaner air down there. And it's a beach-style lifestyle, isn't it? You know, it's nice living in a coastal town. You can go for long walks in the evening or the early morning along the paths that line the beach, and it's quite a healthy thing to do. It's a more relaxed community down there. People tend to know each other. You see the same faces around. I've spent quite a bit of time down there now. I lived down there for a month. That was more than 3 years ago, just to get a feel for the place. And yeah, I like it. I think it's going to suit me a lot more than Bangkok now. Another reason is it's an easy trip back to Bangkok, isn't it? I know some guys live up there in Isan, some guys live in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, but you either have to fly down to Bangkok or it's a 8 or 12-hour drive. So Hua Hin's about 3 hours, and they're now building an elevated highway. Once that's up and running, if they ever get it finished, that should be fantastic, even shorter. You can get down there by train, and there's buses that go down all the time. So it's not a big deal. There is times when you would have to come back to Bangkok occasionally, like to renew your passport. You might need to go to your embassy. So it's not the end of the world. And just the traffic, the less traffic, that's going to be great. I have a car and a scooter, and I don't use the car in Bangkok. I only use it when I go out of town, if I happen to visit Pattaya or Hua Hin. But what I like about Hua Hin is I can drive around Hua Hin like I used to drive around Kettering, where I was living in the UK. You get the odd traffic lights in town when the schools empty out at 3 or 3:30, whenever it is. But generally speaking, I can drive to Blueport Mall, Big C, do a weekly shop, fill up the boot of the car like I used to in the UK. You just don't have the traffic jams. You can actually get around, and I'm really looking forward to being able to use my car on a daily basis. I've mentioned cheaper eating out, Thai and foreign food. Nightlife without Bangkok excess. So, Bangkok's famous for its nightlife. They have many theatres, bars, clubs, good jazz clubs and everything. There's not so much in Hua Hin, but I'm at the stage in my life now. When I lived here, when I was kind of 37, 38, I was going out to Nana Plaza and Soy Cowboy and other kind of Irish pubs and English pubs and everything. I was out 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week. But now, at my age now, I enjoy doing things in the daytime. I don't really want to go out at night too much. But if I want to go out for a meal and a beer, there's plenty of places to go up down there. And again, it's cheaper to do that, and it's a much more relaxed atmosphere. For me, it's a fresh start to a new chapter. 3 years out here. It was quite difficult at the beginning. If you've watched my videos, you know the journey I've gone through. But now I'm going to come to the most important part of why I'm moving down there, because I've had a golden opportunity. So something I've never mentioned before, because I just wanted to keep it private, because if you have a YouTube channel, it doesn't mean you have to share every detail of your life. And up until now, I've chosen not to share this part of my life. But I have actually got a full-time girlfriend here in Thailand. She lives with me. I met her about 5 months after I arrived here. I put myself up on Tinder, had a few dates, didn't really meet anybody that was suitable to me. And then I met the girl I'm with now, and she's a very nice woman. She's 47. She's worked 15 years in a hospital at Sapankwai, and she's going to retire and come down there with me. She's 47 now, I'm 65. So there's an 18-year gap between us, but we do everything together. We get on very, very well. We go for walks in the park. We go out for meals. And my days of a single man going out and about are long gone. So because I'm with her now, the golden opportunity I've had is because of her position in the hospital. She's able to get a mortgage, and we've actually, she has bought it really, bought a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house on a really nice road down there in Hua Hin, about 12 minutes from the railway station. It's not right in the centre, but it's not too far away. Now, I made a video about a year ago say don't buy property in Thailand. I don't want to contradict myself, but what I meant by that is some guys will come in and they'll put 5 to 10 million cash into a condominium or an apartment, and the whole point in that video was why tie up all that cash in one go and the things that could go wrong. Now, the reason I've decided to go for the house, as it were, with her is because I'm not going to be strapped with any debt. You know, I'm not putting 2-3 million into the property. The property actually costs 2.4 million, which is quite cheap for the size of the property. You know, it's got a carport, 3 bedrooms, as I say, 2 bathrooms. It's in its own enclosed area. I can drive the car in and close the gate behind me. I can have another dog. It's a real home, actually. So the reason I've decided to go ahead with this is what we've done is she's going to buy the house, but obviously she's retiring. I'm going to pay the mortgage. Now, in my apartment here, I'm paying 21,000 baht a month. It's a nice apartment. It's 51 square meters, but it's basically 2 rooms. Okay, I've got no outside space apart from a small balcony over there. Now, the mortgage on this property is fixed. The first year it's 11,500. The second year it's about 12,200, and the third year it's about 13. And then she goes back and renegotiates. That's just how it works in Thailand. So I'm going to put in about 100,000 baht of my own money for things like sofas. Air conditioners are already paid for by the bank. And, you know, we've got some freebies included and everything. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to really lose anything. You know, you're talking a couple of £1,000, 2,500. If it all went south and it didn't work out, which is very unlikely because I haven't taken this decision lightly. I've been 3 years with her. She's here every night. You know, she lives with me basically. And I don't think it's going to go south, as I say. But if it did, worst case scenario, then what have I lost? I mean, I've saved a bunch on the rent over the years, about 9,000 a month. But if it's positive, then what will happen is I'll pay the mortgage off. Eventually, I'll pass on probably before her, and she has an asset, right? You know, you can joke and say she can move another farang in there, but unlikely. She's from Lopburi, about 20 miles north of Lopburi, and I would imagine she'd go back. She's never been married. She doesn't have any kids. She's got 2 sisters who they're in a very rural area, as I say, 20 miles north of Lopburi, and she's told me if she was on her own, she'd go back there. So I think it's all plus. You know, I'm going to have a nice house. I'll be able to drive my car. One of the things that frustrates me is because my girlfriend does long hours. Sometimes she doesn't get home till 10 o'clock, or she'll tell me she's finishing at 5, and I'm thinking, good, she'll be here for 6. We can go out for a meal, and she doesn't get back until 8 because, you know, there's been some emergency at the hospital, and it happens quite often. So it's going to be nice having her around and being able, we can drive in the car and go places. Now, the other reason why I'm telling you about this, because you might be thinking, well, why is he suddenly after 3 years telling us now? Because what I want to do, I want to document the whole journey. I want to, you know, I've got to find air conditioners. I've got to find, well, I've already found everything actually. I've been to Index Living Mall and picked out sofas and beds and all the rest of it. But I want to go around while we're choosing it and show you guys what I'm purchasing, how much it cost. I'm going to show you the movers that we use, how I got my scooter down there. I'm not going to ride it down there. It'll go in the back of a pickup truck. I'll show you this apartment empty because you've never really seen it. I'll show you, I'll document the house empty, the house with furniture, and I'll take it from there. I'm not going to put her in the video because there are nutters out there. I mean, I've had people threaten to punch me in the face. I've had people write anonymous letters to my family when I was still with my family. They got my name and address off the business directories I had businesses in the UK, so it's not hard to find somebody these days. So I've been threatened. I've been sent lots and lots of emails criticizing me. Now, 99% of people are very nice. They leave nice comments on my channel, or they'll write me nice emails, and I get super chats and stuff on the live streams. But there are a few nasty pieces of work out there, and because of that reason, I wouldn't. She's a nice girl, and I wouldn't expose her to her bumping into one of these nutters one day. I had a guy, I told this story on my live stream. I had a guy one time in 7-Eleven, didn't know me from Adam. I was paying for something at the counter, dropped a coin. He was from England, totally drunk. He said something to me, I didn't hear it. I turned around and said, I didn't catch what you said. And he said, oh, we can take it outside if you want. And he threatened to beat me up. And I'm like, I had to just bluff it. I said, well, you do what you want, mate. And I walked out, and luckily he didn't come out, because it would have been a horrible situation. So I'm not paranoid, but there are those sort of people about. I'm looking forward to documenting it all. I hope you're going to enjoy it. If you've got any questions, as usual, leave them in the comments below.